But the undisputed king of the seas for people carrying is the world's largest cruise liner, the Allure of the Seas. Capable of carrying over 6,000 guests and more than 2,000 crew, the Finnish-built Allure of the Seas is more a floating city than a ship.
Even the Allure's lifeboats are of epic dimensions.
It's cocktails at the ready as we take to the high seas on board the world's most luxurious liner. Sunday morning, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The world's biggest cruise ship has just arrived after 7 days at sea. In just 8 hours, it must leave for the Bahamas, loaded with over 7,000 crew and passengers and 300 tons of supplies. Captain Hernan Zinni is responsible for ensuring the ship leaves on time.
It's a very hectic day. Typically we finish securing the ship just a few minutes before 6 o'clock. I'm very proud of being the captain of the ship, but also I understand the responsibility on my hands. So every day you keep that in mind to make sure that the operation rides very tight.
But it's not just the captain and his immediate officers on the bridge who are busy. Inventory manager David Adams is in a race against time to get the supplies for the next 7 days loaded. Passengers are expecting a 5-star experience, so it's crucial there's enough food and drink to go round.
The hardest part of my job is planning and the ordering of the items, because we have to look at the demographics of the guests that are coming on board and to be able to order to suit that demographic. For example, this voyage, we have the Super Bowl. Obviously, Super Bowl comes with beer drinking, so we had to increase our beer orders based on that particular event.
With 4 hours to go before departure, the first of the 6,000 passengers start to arrive. Meanwhile, in the bowels of the ship, Chief Engineer Starle Johan Ludvigsson is rallying his troops to ensure the smooth running of this Titan's 6 giant Wärtsilä engines.
3 of them are 16 cylinders, and we have 3 engines that is 12 cylinders. That makes this power plant very fuel efficient, because we can use the combination of engines that we need for the power production.
But what makes the Allure's propulsion system so special is that its 3 giant propellers are mounted on azipod units. These allow the propellers to swivel through 360 degrees. Along with 4 state-of-the-art bow thrusters, the ship can be steered in any direction, making it as maneuverable as a vessel a third of its size.
And actually this ship can go sideways 4 knots with the use of the bow thrusters and the azipods.
Exactly on time. Less than 12 hours after arriving in Florida, the captain gives the order to power up the engines and leave the port.
Red condition, and I have a navigation command, and Michael has a con. Yeah?
Acknowledge, red condition.
There has been a lot of thoughts, a lot of passion, a lot of dedication to come up with these amazing ships, and I think we are very happy that with the time we've been in service, we have proven to be extremely successful. So we're very proud of her.
In 7 days, the world's biggest cruise liner will return here. 6,000 holidaymakers will disembark, and the whole process will begin again.
It might alarm the passengers, but if you were to take the Allure of the Seas out of the water and stand it on its end in New York, it would actually dwarf the Chrysler Building by 57 metres.